Junk food supper.
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 Junk food
Junk
supper.
food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Welcome to Junk Food Supper, episode 128. This is the internet's number one Monkeybone podcast, and appropriately enough, we will be reviewing Monkeybone from 2001 this week. I'm one of your hosts, Sen Biro, joined as always by Perky Beantown Bowman up there in the 559. What's going on, Bowman?
Hey, I'm glad that, when we decided to start this Monkeybone podcast 2 years ago, I'm glad that we, have finally now gotten, after 127 episodes, to Monkeybone.
I want to thank the listeners, especially for their, frankly alarming level of patience in accompanying us on this journey.
Yeah, I mean, we really heavily pushed it. This is going to be an all Monkeybone podcast. We're only going to be talking about Monkeybone. And we just never have done that until now. So I'm glad that all the Monkeybone fans have stuck with us. And I'm excited to get to it finally.
I mean, I feel like our discussions of 1930s pro wrestling movies set some sort of context for our discussion of Monkeybone.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like you need to understand several other dozen movies to really kind of get the full context of Monkeybone.
I would say so, right?
Yeah. Like you
certainly
really need to know,
at least Wallace Beery's catalog.
Yeah. And the other 125 movies we did. Like you really kind of need to know those to kind of get what's going on here in Monkeybone.
It's a pretty complex movie.
Yeah. I
mean, the central metaphor, as we'll talk about later on, it's pretty subtle.
Very subtle. It's a very nuanced film. Yeah. There's a lot going on with that movie. But
anyhow, other than the excitement about us finally getting around to our featured review of Monkeybone, what else is going on, Bowman?
Not a lot. I've been going to the cinema.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about this cinema, but that's where I've been going lately.
The Cinematheque.
The Cinematheque, yeah.
This was an American one or an overseas?
A little bit of both. It was an American one that's owned by overseas.
Okay.
Well, I did go to the movie theater a couple times. I can't talk about it right now. I saw Train to Busan at the theater.
Oh, that's not an American Cinematheque.
No. We'll talk about that on the episode next week. But I also saw this movie, The Descent. You ever see this movie?
You mean the one about the in that crazy cave underground? Of course I've seen The Descent.
Spoiler. But yeah.
Did I just spoil The Descent? Sorry.
Spoiled the whole 10-year-old movie, 20-year-old movie. Spoiled the whole thing.
I guess it does kind of start off not really letting you know that that's going to be the premise. But isn't it that's going to be on the poster, I would imagine. Or at least by now, if you go to stream that on Amazon, probably the final kill scene is the preview image, right?
Let me look. Actually, I don't think so. No, the poster's pretty normal.
Okay, we're going to officially bleep that then.
I mean, we don't have to, but
That's bleeped. I already bleeped it. Sorry.
All right. Well, I mean, it is funny though, because the poster and the synopsis doesn't really if I remember correctly, maybe the trailer too, although it's been way too many years, but you may not know, it's sort of a from dusk till dawn, Psycho sort of a thing. The movie's about one thing for half of it, and then it kind of switches up and it's about a different thing. And so if you didn't know what the second part was, it would be pretty shocking. But I went to go see it in the theaters, and Fangoria does this thing where once a month they show a horror movie. It's called their staff picks or whatever. They've been doing this for a few months at Regal Cinemas. And they give you a little patch, which is kind of a cool thing. When you see the movie, it's kind of designed with something from the movie on it. And then on the it comes in a little package. And then on the back of it, it says which thing do you think is scarier, the claustrophobia or the redacted? And it's all right, cool. Thanks a lot, Fangoria, for fucking ruining the movie for somebody who has not seen it. And I was seeing it with somebody who had not seen it.
Who the hell would do that?
They didn't care. Yeah, ridiculous.
We got to protect this premise at all costs, Bowman.
I know, it's such a good. I mean, like when that stuff shows up in the middle, it's probably the scariest moment in any movie I've ever seen in my life.
I have long maintained that The Descent and Event Horizon, I think, are the two scariest movies ever made.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in Event Horizon. I think the two movies that have scared me the most in a movie theater are The Descent, The Strangers, and actually I'll probably throw Green Room in there too. Green Room was scary as hell.
Green Room was scary as hell. Okay.
I mean, it's like more tense than scary. I mean, but it's like, I don't know, same basic feeling. But if we're talking about like just like strictly horror movies, then yeah, definitely The Descent and Strangers.
What did the Descent director ever do after that? Did he get up to anything?
Yeah, he did a couple of things. I mean, he directed a bunch of Game of Thrones, which is probably like his main thing, probably. He did Dog Soldiers. That's a good one. He did the Hellboy remake. He did Doomsday, which we did on the show, a movie I like a great deal.
Oh, yeah, it's Neil Marshall. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Neil Marshall. He did Centurion, which is like a really cool, like, kind of historical thriller type of a thing. Kind of an odd movie, but I like that one a lot. I haven't seen some of his newer stuff, though. But, yeah, I mean, The Descent's clearly the high watermark, but he's got some other stuff worth watching.
All right, well, we see you, Neil Marshall.
Yeah, get money. Direct more Game of Throneses.
Well, speaking of seeing things, I saw for the first time, and you might not believe this, Bowman, because I feel like this is a movie that everybody's seen before me. Finally saw Roadhouse. And I'm not talking that Jake Gyllenhaal crap. I'm talking the OG Swayze.
How did you feel about it?
A lot of fun. Had a great time.
Very interesting. I'm going to share with you a secret.
Yeah?
I've never seen Roadhouse.
What the hell? Now, let me ask you this. Is it because of, and listen, I fell victim to this, is it because of an anti-Swayze bias?
I mean, a little bit. Like, I really only know Swayze from, like, Ghost and Donnie Darko, so he's not...
Well, really Dirty Dancing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's the very alliterative movie title that Donnie Darko based its own alliterative movie title on. We all know that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I've never gotten around to it. It's a shame, a shameful fact about me that Shelby Cobras likes to make fun of me for.
Oh, really? He's a big proponent of Roadhouse?
If I recall, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was that kind of thing where, I got an older sister who was obsessed with Dirty Dancing. And so as a child, I was subjected to the, if not the whole movie, at least the time of your life dance scene 1,000 times, on the TV. And so I had my fill of Swayze and always avoided Swayze in my youth. Even despite hearing from friends at the time, you got to check it out. It's got a lot of tits in it, and it's got Terry Funk's a major character in it, and there's a bunch, it's Bar Fight the movie, so there's just a bunch of action and really good explosions too, it turns out. But I just didn't want that Swayze factor. Thankfully, I got past my inhibitions and embraced Swayze, and I feel better. I feel more myself for having done so.
Are you going to be checking out more Swayze stuff, or do you think like this was like the...
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning immediately after we end this podcast to watch the instructional dance video that he made with his mom.
All right, okay. You getting real into like the Swayze deep cuts. Like you're not even
Swayze
interested
dancing.
in like, you don't even want his cinema. You just want like home videos of him and stuff.
Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
It's a real. It's not a home video. It's a commercially released videotape. I've got a copy of it somewhere that he put out with his mom, where he teaches you how to dance.
All right, I would check that out. I guess. I mean, he seems pretty good.
He had a background in dance, Bowman.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, he was in Dirty Dancing. He must.
I think his mom was like a real dancer, right? Like Broadway or something. I don't know.
That could be, yeah.
But anyways, a lot of fun. The movie. It's exactly what you would expect. It's kind of like you've seen Cocktail, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's kind of just like what if Cocktail focused on the bouncer instead of the bartender, But that's honestly maybe a more exciting line of work for cinematic depiction.
Yeah. I think I agree with that.
Yeah, so
Actually,
check it out.
yeah, I actually do need to see this soon-ish, and that Gyllenhaal remake that you poo-pooed. Because my main man, whose name I don't know how to pronounce, Ilya Nationaler, the guy who did Hardcore Henry and Nobody, he's doing the new one. And that guy's like my main guy.
He did the Gyllenhaal one or what?
He's doing part 2 of the Gyllenhaal one. He didn't do the first one.
Oh, there's another new one. I didn't know that was even a thing.
I think it's coming soon. I think it's like being made now and will be out at some point.
I basically ended up watching this because, when Dory Funk Jr. died a couple of weeks ago, I went and looked for, was he in any movies? And turns out he's not really. But then I was like, oh yeah, I got to watch Terry in Roadhouse.
Yeah. I like that you watched Roadhouse and not Stranglemania. You're really trying to expand your cinema going habits.
I think I've seen Stranglemania enough for any one man at this point.
I don't think that's possible.
That was my poor sister's version of, the Dirty Dancing videotape where she's like, oh man, the Juggalos again.
I've been meaning to rewatch that myself. It's been a while for me.
Yeah, do it for Lama Namanumi's sake.
I love that fucking guy. That fucking pants suplex he gets.
Well, what else has been going on in the life of a Bowman?
Not a whole lot in terms of like real life stuff. I went to Spirit Halloween. It's open in some places.
Yeah. So you've got the Halloween Spirit now.
I've got the Spirit. It's almost the season. September 1st is historically when I begin celebrating. So I did go to Spirit little early.
That's only a few weeks away.
I know, we're pretty close. So I felt okay with it. They had some fun stuff. I bought a Buffy blanket, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, Spirit Halloween is known for their high quality blankets.
I mean, it's like not a very high quality blanket, which is a shame. I feel like I could have like gone on Shein or Temu and spent a fraction of what I spent.
Yeah, for double the thread count, probably.
Probably, honestly, because I do have some like blankets around here that are from like, I think Shein. Like I have a Sifl and Ollie one, and it's like actually pretty cozy. It's probably better than this fucking Buffy one I got, but I don't know.
Is that something that you made custom yourself, or what's the? I don't know what Shein is actually.
It's like just like Shein and Temu. Like there's like these weird.
Is that like Redbubble where you can upload a GIF and they'll print out a blanket for you?
No, it's just like this. I'm not even. It's like an aggregate of like Chinese sweatshops, basically.
Okay, so it's like Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of that stuff is showing up on Amazon now, but like, like essentially just like bootlegs of stuff. So like, they have everything, and I assume it's the kind of thing where like they do just do like a Redbubble type thing. Like they have a factory full of these blankets, and then you order something, and it's like made to order kind of a thing. But I mean, that's fine. Liam Lynch isn't selling real Sifl and Ollie blankets, so I'm not stealing any money from him. So, just, they're just filling a hole in the economy, the Sifl and Ollie economy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, when you were a young boy, did you have like a novelty blanket? I had the Return of the Jedi bedspread set. That was me.
That's a good one. I'm sure I did. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I had like a He-Man one when I was really young.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Oh, I bet if I asked my mom, she would know. But yeah, I think I had like a few fun ones throughout my days, but I just don't. I might have had like a Mario one maybe at some point.
All right. And Sifl and Ollie now, I'm presuming, reside on your, your actual master bedroom bed. You're sleeping with those guys every night, or?
Of course, yeah. My bed is the Sifl and Ollie blanket. My 120 minutes sheets. My pillowcase is in the style of the State, of course, with Louis on them.
the jumbo oversized pillow that is fashioned into the shape of Sifl that you can hug while you sleep.
I would actually love that very much.
It sounds comfy, honestly.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
If it had that kind of same like almost corrugated type fabric material that like a gym sock has, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah. If it was just like, yeah, literally a giant sock, that would be cute and cozy.
Well, get on that, Sheen.
Yeah. Also, I do want to give you an update about the horrible movies I've been watching.
Oh, okay.
You know, like last week we talked about my like love-hate relationship with Dustin Ferguson. I watch literally dozens of his movies despite the fact that he makes dog shit.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that. That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. And how it's hard now because he's like, it seems like he's using AI in his movies and that kind of like takes the fun out of, you know, watching a bad movie.
Yeah.
So I've turned my gaze, no pun intended, to the work of David Dakota. You know this guy? You love him?
I mean, love is maybe a strong way, but I've got some affection for the guy, sure.
Well, yeah. So like he's probably most known to like guys like us and the listeners as the director of Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bolorama, Puppet Master 3, Nightmare Sisters, Dr. Alien we featured on the show, A Talking Cat was on the show, Beach Babes from Beyond was on the show, Test Tube Teens from the year 2000 was on the show. He's done a lot of stuff we've talked about over the years. But many people may not know that nowadays he pretty much exclusively makes Lifetime Channel movies.
Oh, I think I did know that actually, yeah.
So I've been watching some of those this week. And like this is the good stuff. Like there's no AI in these. It's just a guy with no budget, no script really, like just making what he can make over the course of a week.
And sometimes it will still have like a Linnea Quigley or a Brink Stevens or something, even though there's no nudity, not even any swearing or anything, right?
Yeah, sometimes they do show up. Vivica A. Fox is in like every single one of them for some reason.
That's weird.
I watched 2 of them with Corin Nemec from Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which was very exciting. But yeah, like they're all essentially the same thing. Like it's like somebody's being stalked and then, you know, like this, you know, it comes to a head and they take out the stalker only for them to escape usually in the very, like in the coda. But I mean, they're pretty fun. I mean, they suck really bad, but like they're pretty fun. There's no AI. There's no Dustin Ferguson rapping. I think this is going to be my new thing.
Okay. Did you watch The Wrong Housemaid? What did you watch?
Let's see. I watched the Wrong Cheerleader Coach, which was pretty good.
Oh, there's a lot of wrong ones. The Wrong Obsession, The Wrong Marriage, Wrong Baby Daddy.
Yeah, on Letterboxd they call it the WrongVerse. I don't know if that's its like official title or what, but yeah, like these are fun. Usually, I've seen like 4 of these. I watched a couple years ago. They usually end with like whatever the title is being said by Vivica A. Fox, which is like kind of funny. Well, you know, like they'll be like, oh, like the stepfather has been arrested for stalking and now he's going to go to jail. And then Vivica A. Fox will show up and be like, looks like you chose the wrong stepfather. And then like the credits roll. It's like really fun. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to watch all of these. He makes like 7 a year, so it might take me a while, but you know, what else am I doing with my life at this point? Nothing.
Could be watching Roadhouse.
I mean, that's a good point.
None of these movies got Terry Funk in them.
That I know of. I mean, they might. There's a lot of them here.
Well, speaking of a lot of movies, I think there's a lot of movies coming out in the month of September. What do you think we do a little bit of a review of them?
I think that sounds like a good idea.
All right. Well, let's look at the calendar for September and let's talk about movies coming out, starting with Fall 2, Dead Point. This is an upcoming American survival thriller film directed by Peter and Michael Spierig. Let's say that that's how we pronounce that. They're the Spierig brothers, a German/Australian group of film directors. I thought it was going to be German/Australian film directors, producers, blah, blah, blah. They did Predestination and Jigsaw. Oh, you probably saw Jigsaw.
I've seen Jigsaw and Predestination, yeah.
Well, have you seen Fall 1?
I have seen Fall 1,
No,
which these guys weren't involved in,
No,
which is
but
weird.
this is a sequel to that from 4 years back.
Yeah, I think that was like a little bit of like a post-COVID movie. I actually really enjoy Fall #1.
These are like rock climbing movies, right? So kind of like Cliffhanger, but without Stallone.
A little bit. Like this one, I think, yeah, the conceit of this is that these people are like climbing rocks, like some sort of a cliff. But the first one, it was about two people who climb up like an old like radio antenna or something. Like way out in the middle, like in the desert. And it's like really kind of like a minimalist movie. Like it's sort of like, you remember that movie about the sharks, like Deep Water or something, where it's basically just like two people in a pool for 90 minutes. Like,
yeah.
And it's like just tense. Like that's like the whole thing. Like it's kind of like that. Like there's
sort
a little bit more to
Angry
it.
Men, but with maybe two scared men on a pole.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot like that. But yeah, it's like just like super tense movie. Like they really like take advantage of like the height. Like I liked that movie a lot. I don't know how they're going to recreate it, especially with different directors, but I'm willing to find out.
Yeah, it also seems like maybe a desperate attempt to create a franchise where maybe we didn't need one. Like, just if you want to create a movie about rock climbing, just do that, and it doesn't have to be connected to this other movie that, probably the connection is going to be tenuous at best.
Yeah, I can't imagine that either one of the people from the first one is in this. Probably nobody is, yeah.
You tell me that they fell off that pole?
I'm not
now who's spoiling things?
I'm not, I mean, they said at the end, we're not going to be doing anything like that ever again on rocks. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if they're just like turning it into an anthology or something, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm in. I'm fine with it.
All right. Well, this is looks like a real movie. It'll be coming out September 2nd in theaters.
Oh yeah, I love a real movie. Let's see. Speaking of real movies, we got this movie By Any Means. Now, in this one, Mark Wahlberg is a racist, but also his character is racist. You see?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because of the hate crimes he's been involved in?
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. The man has a checkered past.
Yeah. In this, he plays a mafia hitman who teams up in 1966 with a black FBI agent to investigate the murders of civil rights leaders. The FBI agent is played by Yahya Abdul Mateen, who is a good actor. Ethan Embry is in this. I saw the trailer for this. This looks like a straight to streaming type of a movie. Like, I feel like we get a lot of movies like this. I don't know. It looks like fine, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to go to a theater to see it. Have you seen anything about this? What do you think about this?
I did not know that this was a movie being made, but I am struck by, well, first of all, struck by the Kill Bill stylization of this theatrical poster that they have for By Any Means, with the black and yellow and the, just the kind of stripe scenario there. But does it strike you that Mark Wahlberg in this picture looks alarmingly like AEW wrestler Clark Connors from The Dogs?
I don't know who that is.
Search for Clark Connors.
All right.
This guy is wearing the same exact white wife beater that Connors usually wears, the same shades. Just very,
okay.
I guess the Google image results are not pointing you at his exact current look, but it does not look like the Wahlberg that we've come to know and quote unquote enjoy.
Yeah. I think he might be wearing like a fake nose or something in the movie. Like he Yeah, there's like some sort of makeup on him for some reason to hide the racism.
Well, I'm sure that he'll get all the Oscars he's looking for playing a guy that's slightly uglier than himself.
Yeah.
There's another movie called Onslaught from Adam Wingard coming out in September. It's a sci-fi action movie about an army sniper living in a trailer park who struggles to protect her family. See, Bowman, the sniper was a woman. That's a crazy turn of events there. From some super soldier threats that have escaped from a secret military facility. Man, you gotta hate those super soldier threats, especially when they escape. Eric Wareheim, of all people, is in this, about halfway down the cast list, but it stars Adria Arjona, I would guess. She's an American actress who played Dorothy in the Oz. Oh, not the Sam Raimi Oz, but in the Oz adaptation Emerald City from 2017. I don't know that. But she's in this, and some MMA guy, Alex Pereira. So that's interesting.
Know that guy.
You know anything about this Onslaught movie?
I
know that you love Adam Wingard.
I actually dislike him very much.
Director of You're Next, The Guest, the Blair Witch remake, the Death Note. Didn't you like the Death Note movie? I thought you love Death Note.
No, I don't like the Death Note movie.
Godzilla vs. Kong, 1 and 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess that was his last thing. Well, yeah, I don't really like this guy, but there is one movie of his that I really like, and it's called The Guest, which we did on the show a long time ago. And this movie is like a pseudo sequel to that movie.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have to see it now. I guess it like takes place in that universe. There might be some overlapping characters. Maybe it's like not like a direct sequel, but
you sure this doesn't take place in the WrongVerse?
Well, we'll only know whenever the last line of dialogue is spoken. When they're like, "This was the wrong onslaught." Yeah, I'm going to be seeing this because I like The Guest so much.
All right, well, let me know how it is.
I will. It's weird that he went from Godzilla and King Kong Part 2 to this movie. Like, I wonder if it was like a thing where he was like, all right, I've made you guys $800 billion. Now let me do the sequel to my micro budget sci-fi movie from 12 years ago, please.
Or could it be that he didn't make enough money for Legendary / Warner's and now he's got to slum it over at A24?
That could also be, yeah.
What else we got coming out?
Let's see what we got. All right, we got this thing, Mayday. In this movie, in 1987, while flying a Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird on a mission over Soviet Russia, a U.S. Air Force pilot is forced to eject his plane, and he hopes to survive. And he meets in the Russian wilderness a Russian ex-KGB guy, and he also wants to survive. Kind of a weird buddy cop movie. This stars Ryan Reynolds as the American guy and Kenneth Branagh as the Russian guy, so I'm going to see it, I guess. Well, this is an Apple TV thing, so I'm probably never going to see it, but I would like to see it because I'm a Kenneth Branagh completist. But what do you think about such a thing?
I mean, I didn't hear anything there that really enticed me that much, but I don't know, who knows? It's interesting that Apple is still making movies that nobody's watching.
Yeah.
You know, they tried it with, what was it, The Gorge or something? I remember seeing that for the trial period that I had Apple TV and being like, oh, that's interesting. They're taking a swing. It seems like, they're spending real money to make these legitimate looking movies. But who the hell's ever going to see this thing? And they're still doing it though.
Yeah. I guess they're still flying high on Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, yeah. People saw that in theaters, but then they had no way to ever see that again in their life, which is sad for them.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe they're just thinking they'll have another Killers of the Flower Moon situation where people actually did watch one of their movies and liked it at some point.
Yeah. Is this going straight? Yeah, this is going straight to Apple TV. So sadly, no chance for this one.
Yeah.
What else we got? The Uprising. We got Andrew Garfield starring as the legendary leader of a ferocious rebellion against the tyranny of King Richard II. From director Paul Greengrass. How green is his grass? You know, the Bourne guy, basically, I think is what he's known as.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like basically a Braveheart or something in England instead of in Scotland. Do I care? Probably not.
Yeah. I don't care about these Englands.
If you're going to do this, at least have the decency to make it a Robin Hood movie, you know?
Yeah. A Robin Hood movie just came out like a few months ago.
Yeah, then we don't even need this, right?
Yeah, get rid of this movie altogether. But one movie we cannot get rid of altogether. Why Did I Get Married Again? Written and directed by Tyler Perry.
No fucking way.
No, this is Tyler Perry's 8th movie this year.
Does this movie even have a Wikipedia page?
No, that's how many movies this fucking guy makes. They don't even get Wikipedia pages anymore.
Wow, dude, you're going off target here. You're picking things that don't even warrant their own Wikipedia page. All right.
Yeah, let's see. All right, so 5 movies he's got on the schedule for this fucking year. And he did like 5 last year too. This man works hard.
Do you think he's, akin to how they shot films in the days of silence, that he's shooting multiple movies side by side out there in the Atlanta sunlight?
I mean, he must be. He owns his own studio. So, I guess he can just do shit whenever he wants. Like, he's essentially just going into his backyard to shoot. So it's not like he has to go anywhere, but I'm sure that probably makes it pretty easy. Man, I got a lot of fucking Tyler Perry movies to catch up on.
Well, not until you catch up on Roadhouse.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely see that one before this, probably. But because I haven't seen the first 2. This is part of a trilogy. Why Did I Get Married? Why Did I Get Married 2? And now Why Did I Get Married Again? Starring Michael Jai White from Black Dynamite.
Couldn't Again just have been the second one?
Well, no, because I think Why Did I Get Married 2 is about a different guy who gets married. So this is now about the first guy. Probably. He probably got a divorce and now he's getting married again. Makes perfect sense.
All right. I hope you love it.
I'm sure I will. I'm locked in. I'm this guy's #1 fan.
Let's see if you'll get locked into Runner. Not Blade Runner, not The Running Man, just Runner. It's an upcoming American action comedy thriller film directed by Scott Waugh, I want to say. How would you say this homeboy's name? Would you say Waugh?
Yeah, it's definitely Scott Waugh.
Yeah, and I think you have to say it like that.
Yeah.
Starring Alan Ritchson, Owen Wilson, and some other people that we don't know, that nobody knows. A delivery man is tasked with bringing a new healthy liver to a sick girl. Man, they should have got Bob Odenkirk for that role.
Yeah.
And is forced to escort the man who brought the liver while evading ruthless mercenaries who plan on taking the liver for their benefit. I guess this script was on the 2023 blacklist of the most liked unproduced screenplays, that confusingly titled list that is not like a actual blacklist. It's not a negative thing. It's just what Hollywood calls whatever screenplays have been written but not produced that everybody liked. So people in town, I guess, have been talking about this for a few years now. And I don't really know much else about it, but it's got a funny looking poster, I guess. Owen Wilson kind of frazzled at the fact that he's in an action movie. That seems to be the kind of the joke of the poster. Like, hey, what, me in an action movie? But I'm Owen Wilson. And I'm sure we're all going to get a chuckle out of that. You know anything about this Runner?
I do not. I mean, I kind of like this guy.
But you're a big Scott Waugh fan.
Love Scott Waugh. I named my 40K orc army after him. That's a joke that 3 people will get. I hope Baby Legs is listening. He'll get that joke. Baby Legs is going to love that joke. Baby Legs is going to love it. Yeah, I don't know. This Alan Ritchson guy, he seems cool. I hope he gets to play Batman.
Until you get to know him.
Huh?
Until you get to know him.
You know him well?
No, I'm just saying, based on the way that you said he seems cool, it felt like maybe you were going to, tear into the guy.
No, I mean, like, he seems cool. I don't know. I don't know. That's all I know about this. I don't care about it. I'm not going to see an Owen Wilson movie in my life.
All right.
But I do have this. All right. We got Run, Hide, Fight, Infidels. Speaking of problematic canceled people that I like. This movie stars Jonathan Majors, who was supposed to be the big bad guy of the new Avengers movie, but got in some legal trouble for being a little bit of a creepy guy. So now that he's very canceled and he ruined his whole career and is not going to be the big bad guy of the new Avengers movies, he's making this movie made by the Daily Wire. What do you think about that, Sean?
I don't know anything really about this guy or his legal issues. I'm kind of quickly skimming his Wikipedia. None of it looks good. I'm not going to read it in detail, but I don't like what I'm seeing just in the names of the headings for the sections. But
I think he was stalking and beat up his girlfriend or something like that. I think I don't know all the details, but I was too mad that Kang's not going to be in the Avengers. I just couldn't find out anymore. I was like, the whole situation made me too upset.
So what is this? Is this this is like an attempt at like an exploitation movie that is exploiting the real life genocide that's happening? Or I don't know what this is. Is this an actual like pro-Israel polemic? Like, what do we know? I think
so. Yeah, like the Daily Wire is Ben Shapiro's like thing. And they've been making like super like right-wing propaganda movies. And I think that this is a very pro-Israel, anti-Islam propaganda action movie. And it's I just bring it up because it's funny that this guy was going to be the biggest star in the entire fucking world, being the main bad guy of 2 Avengers movies and also being astoundingly talented. And now he's making propaganda movies for Ben Shapiro. It's like so sad. Fucked up your whole life by being a dickhead.
It looks like Jonathan Majors also fell out of a window while shooting this movie when the stunt coordinators like fucked up the window or something like that. It wasn't secured. So,
damn.
I guess he got a little bit of what he deserves, allegedly. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I think if you're making a movie like this, you probably should.
Yeah. So the producer of this movie, when asked about like how it's a big propaganda movie, he said, "We are too busy being badasses, blowing shit up, flying helicopters, and killing movie terrorists to concern ourselves with." Oh, wait, where's the... He says, "If you're afraid to put radical jihadis as your villains, then you're a wimpy movie producer. We don't have that kind of fear."
Okay. All right, that's one take.
Yeah. Oh, and then here's another thing that he said. This is the producer of this movie. He says, "There are 3 ways Islam will conquer the West. Through immigration, through the wombs of our women, and by using our nation's freedoms against us." I have to see this movie.
Hopefully they get all the attention that they want. I fear that, unfortunately, we may live in such a fractured media landscape that like this will come and go and nobody will notice. But
yeah,
you can only hope that, they get all the attention that they crave.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine anybody subscribed to the Daily Wire's fucking streaming service. But who knows?
All right. Well, an actual filmmaker who has made actual movies that real people like, Zach Krieger, is taking on the Resident Evil franchise. This is the dude who transitioned from the comedy world. He was in The Whitest Kids You Know into making movies like Barbarian and Weapons. And now this relaunch of the Resident Evil cinematic franchise. I have never played any of the games. I think I've been a party to somebody playing it on occasion, you know. I may have seen like a high school buddy playing the first one or two of them. And I'd never seen any of the movies, but I do like that this cast list includes Zach Cherry from Severance. And I'm open to the fact that it includes Paul Walter Hauser, who I'm desperate for him to redeem himself after his recent embarrassing dalliances in pro wrestling.
You think he's a shitty pro wrestler?
Very much so, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's trying his best.
Yeah, he's trying his best, and I'm glad that he gets to live out his fantasies, thanks to the fact that he achieved notoriety in another field and was able to sidestep all of the, the setting up of chairs and so forth and dues paying that has become so controversial in recent weeks. But
you think AJ Styles' kid should set up the chairs?
I think Paul Walter Hauser should set up the Styles family's chairs at their own dining table. So that's what I'm proposing. He's got to pay his dues, substantially. If you're getting into wrestling in your late 30s or whatever he is, yeah, man, take pains.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, so Resident Evil.
Yeah. You like those games?
I do like, I've played 2 of them, and I liked one of them. I've played part 1 and part 5. Or part 2 and part 5. And 2 is a masterpiece. I love 2 very much. Goddamn phone. But I have some of the other ones, but I'm too scared to play them usually. They're very scary games. So anytime I'm like, oh, I should sit down and play Resident Evil, I get too scared to actually do it. So I'm just wasting money buying all these Resident Evil games. I'm sure they're good. But yeah, I'll check this out. I mean, Zach Krieger's fine. I didn't like Weapons as much as everybody else did. So, I'll be there for Resident Evil rather than being there for Zach Krieger. But, good for him for getting another movie out in theaters like barely a year later. He's working hard. He's almost a regular Tyler Perry.
I feel the same way. I was not over the moon for either of those 2 movies, but I think I liked them more than I disliked them, and he seems like a good guy, and he hasn't done anything to offend me so far.
Yeah, I think that's true. Let's see. We got this other movie. Where do we? This is a pretty...
Well, speaking of Owen Wilson, we got Rolling Loud, the movie.
Oh my god, yeah, he's in this other thing.
Inspired by a true story, this comedy is the story of an overprotective father who attempts to bond with his 13-year-old son by sneaking him into the Rolling Loud hip-hop music festival in Miami. With Owen Wilson, the terribly unfunny Matt Rife, the Fonz, Henry Winkler, and then rappers like Sexy Red, Ty Dolla $ign, Ski Mask, the Slump God, of course, he's going to be in this. Travis Scott, who very much should never be working again. So I'm going to avoid this based on the inclusion of Travis Scott and Matt Rife. But good for everybody else involved. Sexy Red, get money.
Yeah, of course. I have no strong feelings about that, but I have this for you. It's called The Last Train to Fortune. This is a Western comedy directed by Adam Rifkin, a director we know well from making The Dark Backward, Psycho Cop 2, Detroit Rock City, Chillerama, An Invisible Man movie. We've done a couple of his movies over here on the show. This stars Malcolm McDowell. And that's Lee Ehrenberg from Freaked, of course. He plays the sheriff. Bernadette Peters is in here. I did not know she was still alive. That's all that is known about this, but does that do anything for you?
I mean, I like Malcolm McDowell, but I mean, I probably have enjoyed 2% of the projects that he's been involved with. Adam Rifkin. He did some stuff that we liked, right? He did The Dark Backward.
Yeah, The Dark Backward is...
a million years back.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. He did The Nut House, which I've always wanted to see. I think Sam Raimi was involved in that. The Invisible Maniac. Small Soldiers, people like. I've never seen it.
Yeah. I mean, this is a movie. You have correctly identified this as a film that is coming out on September 18th. So,
yep.
It is a little bit alarming that it premiered nearly a full year ago in November in Ojai. And now it's finally getting an actual wide release. And they wrapped photography in April 2023.
Okay.
There's no way that this movie is any good.
Yeah. It's also being released by Tricoast Worldwide and Vitagraph Films, neither of which sound real.
I saw Ethan Hawke and Russell Crowe got a movie coming out that I think played Sundance and Berlin and some other film festivals. The Wait. It's a historical drama about, in Oregon in 1933, Samuel Murphy is torn from his daughter and sent to a brutal work camp where basically they're mining for gold in the Oregon woods, it seems like. People are saying this is good. I don't know. This had some buzz that I had caught wind of. And it's got the kind of poster where you look at it and you're like, yeah, this is a movie that's going to be on the Criterion channel in a couple years and people are going to say it's great. I look forward to streaming it at that point.
Yeah. I saw the trailer for this at the theater recently and it looks pretty good, but I'm biased. I love Ethan Hawke all the time.
You're a Hawk man.
Yeah, absolutely. You can call me... I don't know Hawkman's real name. That would have been really great if I was a big enough DC fan to know Hawkman's real name.
What is it?
What is it? Now I gotta look it up.
Now we're gonna know.
Carter Hall. Call me Carter Hall. Unless, of course, it's the Silver Age, then you can call me Katar Hole.
Okay. I'll just edit that in for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
When I'm bleeping out my spoilers for The Descent, I'll make it seem, seamless right there.
I appreciate it. Everybody's going to think I'm like super into Hawkman comics. But yeah, this looks really good. I will probably go to the theater to see this based on how much I love Ethan Hawke.
Okay, well, what else is coming out? Brad Pitt in Heart of the Beast with J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
So it's about a special forces officer and his dog. This seems like a real attempt by Brad Pitt to rehab his image, right?
Yeah,
forget about
for
all the abuse allegations or that he's a drunken mess or whatever. Make him a veteran with a dog.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably work, Yeah, I saw the trailer for this. It looks fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like kind of an Oscar bait type of a movie.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's theatrical. This kind of looks like if this was anybody other than Brad Pitt, this is like 100% straight, not even to Netflix, but like straight to Prime Video or whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of Prime Time's coming out.
Welcome to it, bitch.
This movie I'm very excited for. Robert Pattinson, who I'm a fan of now. But always been a fan of him, actually. He plays Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator. And this is like a story about To Catch a Predator. And probably, I think it's about the time that they caught a predator who then pulled out a gun and shot himself in the head. Like, I think this is mostly about that sort of a, you know, who are the real bad guys kind of a thing. But it looks pretty good. Anna Faris is in there. Merritt Weaver, who I like. I'm excited for this. What do you think about this?
I have not seen the trailer for this, but I guess I'm like vaguely interested. Lance Oppenheim seems like an interesting filmmaker, mostly a documentary guy, right?
Yeah. He also invented the atomic bomb.
Yeah,
which
was unfortunate, but he's redeeming himself. I don't know. Yeah, I should watch the trailer and see kind of what the tone of this is and if it might be something that appeals to me. I like Robert Pattinson, and, you know, I could see this being interesting, but I could also see this being, I don't know, sleazy in the wrong way, where it just kind of bums me out.
Yeah, that could be.
What else we got? Speaking of sleazy in the wrong way, and bumming people out, there's a Unabomber movie.
Yep.
I guess this is straight to Netflix, so maybe I shouldn't even mention it, but the aforementioned Russell Crowe will be in it, and Jacob Tremblay playing Ted Kaczynski. So wait a minute, they got a 19-year-old playing Ted Kaczynski? What the hell is this movie about then?
It's his young days, I assume.
Looks like it alternates between two timelines, his time attending Harvard and his prolonged manhunt decades later. So are we going to have to see Jacob Tremblay in like crappy digital old age makeup?
I mean, the Unabomber is pretty well known for like wearing sunglasses and a hoodie, so I feel like they can just put him under that shit and he'll play.
All right, I guess. I don't know. I am not confident that this will have the sort of grace that should be required to navigate this subject. I mean, without potentially getting myself in trouble. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, hypothetically,
well, and that's the interesting thing is I think it's starting to come around recently where I feel like it's not such an outsider point of view these days, like within the past couple of years, to at least have the opinion of like, hey, maybe, you know.
Yeah. I think I mean, I think that's pretty much everything. Most of these other movies don't even have Wikipedia pages, so maybe a pretty rough month for movies, it looks like.
Well, I guess the summer is over in most parts of the world that are not California.
Yeah, I feel like Spider-Man and the Odyssey are just going to keep skating forward and winning the box office week after week, at least for the next month, adding to their huge coffers.
Well, good for them. They've earned it.
Well, not the Odyssey.
Not even the Odyssey. They had to climb mountains and stuff to make that movie. That's tough.
All right. I'll give it up to them.
They had to walk from their trailers up a hill or something.
They probably had little Segway scooters.
All right. Well, those are the movies coming out next month. So we recommend that you out there go see them. Or don't.
Yeah, at least see the Tyler Perry one. The rest of them you can skip.
But maybe there's somebody this week who has called into our voicemail line who wants to let us know either what they've been seeing lately or what they plan to see next month.
Oh, there actually is.
All right. I knew it, man. I had a feeling. I knew that voicemail.
Here we go.
Live from New York, it's Mr. Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian.
junk food. I'm not sure if this is a junk food dinner or supper episode because I am 2 to 3 episodes behind. My apologies, gentlemen.
Oh.
Anyway, it's Mr. Brian calling in New York. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Hope everything is good. Got some Halloween-related news for you, so I'll run it by you. Just got finished listening to the Cannonball Run first episode, and you did part 2. I listened to that episode. Are you guys going to finish it off and watch Speed Zone, a.k.a. Cannonball Run 3, which is free on YouTube right now? Sean Byron, are you okay? Is that factory still burning? It still smells out there? I worry for you. You guys going to watch the Lantern show on HBO Max? I'm going to check that out. But the Halloween-related stuff, I watched today, just got finished watching Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Has nothing to do with The Mummy. Sean Byron, please insert Dom DeLuise what drop.
What?
Okay. Do that in post-editing. Yeah. Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
That was live, baby.
Terrible movie. Don't watch it. Have you guys seen those Oreo cookie ghosts they put out? Hop on Walmart.com. You should be able to see them. And also Regal Cinemas, at least by me, on September 4th, 5th, and 6th. September 4th, they're playing the original Halloween. The 5th, Halloween Part 2. And on September 6th, Halloween Part 3, Season of the Witch. So I'll finally get to see that on the big screen. Anyway, love the show. Hope you guys are well. Thanks for taking my call. And peace.
Thank you, Mr. Brian. It's good to hear from you. It's been a while.
Yeah, too long.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I'm going to be finishing out the Cannonball Run trilogy. These guys got too mad about part 2, even though it's a superior film. And also, I've never seen part 3, so I don't know if it's not,
It's also like an unofficial sequel, right? I think it was later retitled to Cannonball Run 3.
Yeah, it's something like that. Like, I know Burt Reynolds is not in it, so I've never seen it.
Yeah. I'm in no rush to go see that one based on, my enjoyment of the first 2, but I'm sure eventually we will get around to it.
I do like to complete all the franchises that we've started.
I know that about you. Speaking of completion, I do wish that my struggles with the Boyle Heights warehouse fire were over, but they're not. It still smells really bad. Not every day anymore, thankfully. But a lot of days, maybe more than half of the days. Last night was horrendous. It smelled like 3-month-old diarrhea that's been boiling in the sun up and down the entire town. I couldn't get away from it.
What? Well, like, what's making it smellier on random days? Is it like the heat, like on hot days? Or
I
what?
think it's a combination of, maybe the heat, also the wind, the direction of the wind is a big factor. And then just whatever the progress is down there, because they're still cleaning up, and so on some days when they've got a big truckload of stuff, of all this rotted food that is either staged outside of the building and they're filling it, or maybe it's slowly making its way across the San Gabriel Valley. I don't know. We catch a whiff of it. But on other days, when there's less of that stuff out in the air, it's not as bad.
Well, that is gross as hell.
It's super gross. There are days I don't eat. So I'm looking forward to getting through this so I can eat every day again, which will be nice.
Well, I think you've unlocked the secret to weight loss. You don't even need GLP-1s.
I think I lost probably 20 pounds in the past month. So
congratulations.
Yeah, I guess. But speaking of foods, I do want to talk Oreos for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I had not seen these Oreo ghosts. I'm looking at them now. They look kind of cool. even though it's like not a cookie, it's more of like a kind of like a Reese's. When they do the Reese's cups in funny shapes, they do this thing where it's chocolate formed into a shape with a creamy center. In this case, it's the Oreo cream with some cookie bits. You see this guy? You like this guy?
I have not seen him. Let me take a look.
Yeah, take a gander at Oreo cookie ghosts on. I guess I could recommend Google Images, but maybe give Bing a shot.
This guy looks cute as hell.
You like this?
Yeah, I'd mess with that guy.
Yeah, it looks pretty tasty. Have you been messing around with Oreos? Have you been involved in this new Oreo renaissance that I feel like has occurred in the past couple of years? All these celebrity Oreos and stuff.
I have been a little bit. Have you seen these Reese's peanut butter cups that have Oreo like frosting and cookies on the inside?
It is hilarious that you mentioned that specifically, because I was going to say the only Oreo that I've messed with in terms of these like fancy new ones, because, I've had the classic Oreo. Let's not presume that I've never had an Oreo in my life, but they got all these new ones. Only new one that I've tried is the Reese's peanut butter flavored Oreo, but I haven't tried the Oreo flavored Reese's.
Well, yeah, I need to try the one that you've tried, but the Oreo flavored Reese's is like the greatest fucking shit in the world. Like, on paper, it doesn't seem like it should be. Like throwing an Oreo cookie and like the Oreo like cream inside of the chocolate and peanut butter. But in practice, it's like the tastiest fucking shit in the whole world. Like, you get like a nice crunch in there because of the cookie, the cream and the peanut butter go together. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful invention.
I love the sound of it. I mean, just regular ass Reese's cups are among my favorite candy. The combo of peanut butter chocolate, I think, is a unbeatable combo.
Yeah. Peanut butter cups, Reese's peanut butter cups are pretty much like the only candy I still eat. Like, I don't mess with candy too often. I had some Nerds Ropes clusters the other day. Those were pretty good. But like every once in a while I'll go with something. But yeah, like, I pretty regularly still eat a Reese's cup. Like, they're just too good to give up. They're wonderful.
If they were cheaper, I'd be eating those puppies every day. But I can't hang with this candy bar inflation where it's like, you want to get me for like a full $1 plus for even the smallest candy bars?
Yeah, I think even like the small size is like $2.50 or something.
I can't do this. Come on, no. Let's bring back these 50-cent candy bar prices.
I agree. But that is one of the better things about the Reese's cups is like with an Oreo, like, I like Oreos, but it's like, I'm never going to buy a whole bag of Oreos to try like one weird flavor. Like, that's just like a big commitment. But like with Reese's, it's like, they come out with something where it's like the jelly that's inside of them or like whatever kind of weird flavor. It's like, you get like 2 or 3, 4 in the package. Like, that's cool. Perfect. That's like the perfect amount.
At the same time, though, I feel like Oreos are maybe like $4 a bag. And it's a pretty good value proposition when you're comparing to like 2 Reese's cups for $2+ or whatever.
That is a good point. Yeah.
But yeah, I like the Reese's Oreo quite a bit. And it was funny because, they got this entire like aisle full of Oreos now at the supermarket. It feels like you got your BTS Oreos, you got all these other celebrity Oreos. And then they had 2 different peanut butter ones. They had just straight up Oreo with peanut butter filling or Oreo with Reese's peanut butter filling. Like, they completely separated into their own like packaging and branding specifically for Reese's. And I'm glad that I did go with the Reese's one, even though I think the package, like, it's one of those things where like the peanut butter one, they're like, Oreo with peanut butter. And then the other one is like Oreo with Reese's peanut butter flavored cream filling, where they have to use all these weasel words because it's not real peanut butter. But I don't give a fuck. It tastes better than real peanut butter.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fine with me. Like, if you're using some sort of weird technology to improve upon peanut butter, I think it's already perfect. Like, that's fine. Go for it.
I think it's not technically peanut butter because like the sugar content is maybe higher than the peanut content. It's like primarily a sugar paste with peanut flavoring, but I'm down for that.
Yeah, there's no problem. There's no problem at all. Also, I do want to mention, Mr. Brian mentioned Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Oh, yeah.
I understand people's concerns that it's not like a traditional mummy movie, but, like, what is The Mummy? What do you got there? It's hard to, it's like, if you want to mess with the mummy lore a little bit, I'm all right with it. Like, the very first Mummy, the Universal one, is just a ripoff of Dracula. And the guy's not even a mummy. Like, he's only a mummy for, like, one scene, and then after that, he's just, like, Boris Karloff or whoever, just walking around like a normal-ass dude. Like, I'm fine with the changes that they make in Lee Cronin's Mummy.
Is he Egyptian?
There's Egyptian lore to it. Yeah,
there's like weasel words.
There's an Egyptian spirit.
All right, never mind. Never mind Lee Cronin.
Well, all right. Fair enough. There's Egyptian stuff. There are Egyptian people in it. Some of it takes place in Egypt.
It looks like most of it takes place in New Mexico.
But some of it takes place in Egypt.
What a weird coincidence that all of these stories started taking place in New Mexico, like shortly after we had all these film production studios there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's weird. Suddenly it became the most ideal place to set a story.
Yeah, it's pretty coincidental.
All right, well.
Yeah.
That's out there.
Coincidentally, other people out there can send a voicemail by calling 343. What's the number? 347-746-JUNK. I think, right? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is it? Or is it 346? It's 347, right?
Yeah, it's definitely 347.
And then 586. 746?
347 746 5865.
There you go.
Right? Or more importantly, just go to facebook.com/call now.
Or go to junkfooddinner.com.
It's already late and I'm so sleepy.
I don't know how to do any of this anymore.
Go anywhere. And while we figure out how to podcast, we'll be taking a quick break, and then we'll come back, though, in just a minute to talk about Monkeybone. So stick around.
You motherfucker.
Stu Miley is the creator.
The man behind the monkey.
Monkeybone is his creation. Stu was about to have it all until it all came crashing down.
Hello? Am I dead?
Now, the monkey he brought to life wants a life of his own.
Say it!
And he has 24 hours before he loses everything.
The woman I love is living with a whole monkey that looks like me.
Ow!
How was he?
Brendan Fraser, Chris Kattan, Bridget Fonda, and Whoopi Goldberg in one of the wildest and funniest comedies in years. Monkeybone, coming to video and DVD.
All right, welcome back to Junk Food Supper. The movie on the show this week is Monkeybone from 2001. This is the only live action, or mostly live action, movie from the famous animation director Henry Selick, whose name should be familiar, but if not, he did Nightmare Before Christmas and James and the Giant Peach before this, and then he would go on to do Coraline and much later, just a few years ago, Wendell and Wild for Netflix. So this is one of the only 5 movies that the guy has made. And the only one that I hadn't seen in the Letterboxd era. I had seen this on DVD when it first came out in 2001, or maybe it hit disc in 2002 or whatever. But I caught it then with somebody who had already loved the movie from seeing it theatrically. And I remember at the time not loving it, but also thinking that there were a number of fun things about the movie. And so over time, my desire to revisit this movie has kind of grown and grown. And, so based on that, I made the big commitment this week and plopped down $1 extra on iTunes to purchase this for $5 rather than rent it for $4, which is, maybe the classic Homer Simpson sandwich situation where I've bought a sandwich maybe too large for me to actually consume. But I couldn't resist the value proposition of owning Monkeybone just for $1 more than it cost to rent. Anyhow, let's talk about what this movie is. Because while I did remember that this was about the weird adventures of a comic book artist played by Brendan Fraser, I had completely forgotten that it was also a direct and forceful allusion to a man's struggles with his own penis, which we'll definitely get into. But Brendan Fraser in this plays Stuart Miley, not Stuart Smalley, confusingly enough. But Stuart Miley, a cartoonist and creator of Monkeybone, which is a humorous comic book character that looks kind of like a sock monkey, or kind of looks like Paul Frank's Monkeys, if you know that artist. And as is immediately set up in the very first moments of this movie in an animated wraparound, this Monkeybone character is a metaphor for Stuart's his own dick. And I guess that's why it acts in a brash and annoying manner, sometimes akin to the Tex Avery wolf, but more often than not, just kind of in a general Roger Rabbit, agent of chaos kind of way. Anyhow, Brendan Fraser and his fiancée, Bridget Fonda, are in a car crash, and he ends up in a coma. And then the movie is kind of about his journey through the netherworld, where he meets up with his creation, Monkeybone. And then eventually the two are competing for a chance to return to the real world and hopefully shack up with Bridget Fonda.
Ba-ba-boom.
And that's the basics. We'll get more into it. But one of the things that really strikes you when you watch this movie in 2026 is just the cast, given what many of these people have gone on to afterwards, and not just in terms of, Brendan Fraser post-Whale, but this is, pretty early on in the career of, guys like Giancarlo Esposito, who plays the Forbidden Zone-esque devil satyr guy. He would become much more famous a few years later on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Bridget Fonda's here doing her thing, and none of us probably even knew at the time that it would be one of her very last movies before retiring to be full-time married to Danny Elfman, which I guess it is kind of weird that one of her last movies is a bit of a forbidden zone, but cool to see her, cool to see Bob and David in this, of course. Bob Odenkirk pre-Breaking Bad as well, and
oh yeah.
And Dave Id Foley, post Kids in the Hall and pre whatever else he's done.
Yeah. Who is pretty, I guess you could say that about what I'm going to say about him. You could probably say about everybody in this movie because, just because of how many people are in it, but Dave Foley pretty much completely wasted in this movie.
Completely wasted. The man strips down fully nude and runs around on screen for a good amount of time.
Yeah, but there's
you wanted that for the entire runtime.
Huh?
You wanted to have him naked for the entire runtime of the movie.
Well, absolutely. But, and this is another thing you could say about a lot of this movie, but it's not set up in any way. Him, stripping down and going crazy and doing cartoony stuff would be better if he was set up as being a guy we wanted to see humiliated at the beginning or something, but
yeah, there's a lot of just missing character development, and we'll get into that. But I think he's funny in what he does here. Yeah. And I think Bob Odenkirk is hilarious in this.
He
plays
also fairly underutilized, but yeah.
But his stuff is so good. You know, he plays this like autopsy surgeon or whatever you would call it, who is trying to collect the organs from another character. And he's, man, I think every movie needs to have Bob Odenkirk leaning out of the side of a truck, like shouting at people to give him their liver or whatever. He's so good in this.
He is good in this. I don't mean to be too negative already. He's very funny in this.
Yeah, let's not besmirch Bob Odenkirk's role in this film.
Of course not.
You also got Megan Mullally in this, in the middle of her Will and Grace run. Oh, you got Rose McGowan. And yes, they were smart enough to give each and every one of her costumes the same oversized tit window for her boobs to pop out of.
Yeah.
Very appreciative of that. But maybe the craziest thing, in my opinion, is in this movie, you've got Chris Kattan from SNL playing very specifically a broken neck victim, which is not really the kind of role you often find in a movie, you know, where every single aspect of the character is driven by the fact that his neck is broken. I don't even know if his character has a name. If it doesn't have a name, I'm sure that he's just listed in the credits as neck-breaking victim. You know, usually in a movie, a character breaks his neck. That's the end of the character in the movie. But no, he's in this as the neck break victim. And then, you know, in real life, only I think like 2 months or less after this movie debuts in theaters, you know, as we all know, Chris Kattan really breaks his neck on SNL live on air, May 12th, 2001.
Is that true?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know.
In a Golden Girls sketch, he was doing a pratfall where he falls back in a chair and he broke his neck only 2 months after this movie came out. So
that is wild.
If you ask me, I think that's just more evidence of what I call the dreaded curse of the Monkeybone. And, you know, it's real sad to see because I think Chris Kattan, I mean, if not my favorite member of SNL, which he was, never was, might be one of my favorite parts of this movie. He's great in Monkeybone, man. I love Chris Kattan in Monkeybone. You also got Lisa Zane from Freddy's Dead. You got Whoopi the Whoopster and a bunch of other people. And
well, one person I want to shout out real quick.
Yeah.
The person who plays Edgar Allan Poe, like he's down there in the dream world, is Edgar Allan Poe the Fourth, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah, really crazy. And then, you know, I was surprised to see that guy has been in a bunch of movies. And I think maybe even some movies that we've reviewed on the show before. But yeah, I noticed that as well, because when he's in the role of Edgar Allan Poe, you notice, oh, wait, he's Edgar Allan Poe the Fourth. But then you click on it, you're like, oh, yeah, he just played like random roles in other movies too.
Yeah, he was in Sand Sharks with Corin Nemec.
Yeah. And he's good in this. He's in some scenes with a fake Stephen King that was reportedly supposed to be played by the real Stephen King. And I guess on the day of filming, something happened. I don't know. He missed his flight or whatever. But they had to scramble and they got like a lookalike. And lookalike does a fine job, I think. It's funny that there's a character in this that is Stephen King by name, you know, so...
Yeah,
that's something. But this is a weird movie overall, you know, just in general on the surface. It's kind of weird that a guy known for kids movies did something semi-adult here with this movie. It's PG-13. And allegedly this movie is the origin story for Adult Swim. And I guess take this with a grain of salt because I only saw this printed in one place and I had never heard this before. And I'm curious to find out how true this is. But I guess let's just presume it's true for now. The story is that they ran a bunch of ads for Monkeybone on Cartoon Network, you know, just during whatever regular blocks of time in the lead up to its release. And parents were upset when the movie came out and it featured things like, you know, Monkeybone being the direct representation of a man's erection. And they're like, why were we, you know, misled by Cartoon Network? We thought that was the place we could trust. And so they created Adult Swim specifically to have a place on the network where they could run ads for things that were not targeted towards kids. And when you're running ads for things that are not targeted towards kids, then you can also make content that is not specifically targeted towards kids. So if that's true, I find that to be kind of fascinating, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty wild.
The other weird thing about this movie, I think, is the casting of Brendan Fraser, who is, a guy that I never disliked, but I always had the sense while watching him that he was being held against his will, being like forced to act in these movies. And I think nowhere is that more evident than this movie, which really asks a lot from him. And he really does commit, which is admirable. But at the same time, I'm always thinking, is this really what Brendan Fraser wants to be doing with his life? He just does not look comfortable. Like being a horn dog, Tex Avery wolf kind of a guy in this movie, for instance. But maybe that weirdly sort of helps the movie in a strange way, that kind of conflict between what I think of Brendan Fraser's comfort level being and what he's asked to do in this movie. This is also a very expensive movie. I watched the new 4K.
Well, to go back to Brendan Fraser, that's one thing I was kind of like wondering about while watching this and like thinking about and I like the guy. Like he's in some movies I like and everything, and I think he's a good actor.
Encino Man, of course. We're all big Encino Man fanatics.
I love Encino Man.
When are we going to start that Encino Men podcast we keep talking about?
I mean,
where we only watch movies that are primarily set in or filmed in Encino.
That would be great. I bet there's a lot of good ones. Probably mostly caveman based.
I think Suburban Commandos and Encino mostly.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, when you're watching this, you're like if at first I was like, is Brendan Fraser miscast because he's like really sort of like straight in this? And then I was like, well, no, everything's so weird in the movie, like especially the first half that that kind of makes sense. Like everybody else is weird, so it kind of makes sense that he's like this sort of straight man, although it also kind of doesn't make sense that he's like super straight because he's supposed to be like this weirdo artist. Like I think that's like the character. So like that sort of doesn't make sense. I don't know. So I was like kind of struggling with like what his thing was. And then in the second half, and then I was also like wondering like, well, who else do you put in this movie? Like, a Jim Carrey or something would be like too weird. Like he would out weird all the other weird stuff. Like, so I was like, I don't even know who could be in this.
Did you see who it was going to be originally?
No, I didn't know.
Ben Stiller, which I think makes perfect sense. You watch this and you think, oh yeah, this feels like it was written for him. But then I guess he got tied up in Mystery Men instead.
Yeah, it's a real Sophie's choice of what movie do you want to ruin your career for a few years. That actually makes a lot more sense because I feel like him playing like a neurotic artist, like pent up, repressed artist, like makes more sense than the Brendan Fraser part. And then also he could probably do like the silly goofball stuff in the second half, maybe better. Because the Brendan Fraser doesn't do that part well. Like him portraying Monkeybone, like I thought he was sort of miscast as him, as whatever his character's name is, and then him as Monkeybone is just bad, I think.
There's a reason why we've never seen him in any roles like this, where he's like lecherous or anything like that, and also why we never see him in comedies. Like this is not his lane.
Yeah, I mean he can do like comedic stuff in non-comedic things. Like in the Mummy movies where he's like a dashing hero, like he can kind of like quip and stuff. But yeah, not really. Like even in Encino Man, he plays it really straight. Like he's the comedy comes from the situation, not from him, really.
I guess Airheads is the one example that comes to mind where maybe he's funny, but I don't even remember him actually being funny in that movie.
He's probably fun. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but he's probably funny in that same sort of Mummy way where he kind of quips. But I think Steve Buscemi and Adam Sandler are probably doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that movie. But yeah, it is also sort of weird that at least up until this point, Brendan Fraser was typecast as a guy who's like a monkey man because he was Encino Man, who's a caveman. He was Tarzan, and then he's also Monkeybone. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's really weird. What a weird career trajectory. But yeah, I love the guy. I don't want to talk shit about him, but yeah, he's weird casting in this, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. But, you know, he was a hot actor at the time, and as you can see from the massive cast list and also the massive sets, they were willing to invest in this movie. You know, somebody thought that this was going to make a lot of money, and so they spent whatever they could spend putting this together. And I did watch the new 4K scan this week, and I'm glad that I did. I mean, like I said, expensive movie, so you want to see as much of it as you can. There are a lot of incredible background details in these massive sets, and a decent amount of practical effects in this. I think a highlight for me was in the scene where Brendan Fraser is first in the coma at the hospital and he's kind of descending into the netherworld. They do this shot where you see him kind of descending into the sheets of the gurney that he's laying on. And at least for like the first half of it, it's all practical. And I thought it looked great. I really loved that effect. The way that he kind of slowly lowers into the gurney and the fact that it is like just a practical big white sheet at first, I thought was really awesome.
Yeah, I love that effect. That's super cool.
Towards the end of it, they kind of extend it with like digital stuff that doesn't look as good, but still a cool idea, even with the digital effect. And then once you're down there in the netherworld, there's a lot of weird creatures and weird characters that you meet. I like that weird Chuck E. Cheese, Mickey Mouse prison cop kind of a guy. He's fun. There's a part in this where Brendan Fraser's body gets like deflated, and we are left with this kind of rubbery, melted skin that I thought looked really great. I think that was practical, just like a silicone, mold of his skin or something. Mm-hmm. And I really was charmed by that effect.
It looks like that effect from Spookies where the guy gets bit by the spider lady and like sucks out his blood and he like kind of deflates. Like it looks like that, but like if you did that effect with actual money instead of doing it the Spookies way.
And it's also the kind of effect where like I know for certain that would be digital today. Like there's no way that they're ever going to do that practically again. It probably was a nightmare to do. Like I can imagine they probably did multiple test shots of that and just trying to get that rubber to look just right. But I'm glad that they did because it's really cool. Mm-hmm. The movie obviously is not perfect. The human characters in this are very one-dimensional and not given any backstory before the actual story starts, especially Bridget Fonda, who is just the fiance and nothing more. But the biggest problem that this movie has for me is not really the lack of backstory. It's just that it is not that funny, even though it is continuously trying to be funny. I do think the casting is a big part of that in terms of the lead. If we did have Ben Stiller instead of Brendan Fraser, probably would have been 10 times funnier. But there's still a lot to like here, I think. And I think I enjoyed this a lot more now than I did, in my early 20s when I first saw this. I love the fact that this is just a movie that celebrates art, and, both in terms of it being about an artist, but also just the fact that they employed tons of local LA artists to make this. There's all kinds of graphic design in this movie and paintings and interesting backgrounds and things like this that were all put together by like real legitimate artists who are, have a history and a following in the visual arts. And so it's cool to see those guys getting cinematic representation. And even when the movie is not fully working, there is a can't take your eyes off it kind of quality to it. And it's pretty fast paced, gets us to the netherworld probably within the first 5 minutes or so. So if you like movies like Beetlejuice or The Labyrinth or The Forbidden Zone or Freaked, or even, like Fellini films, I think you'll dig this. There's a lot of fun colorful surrealism in this, and you're probably going to see also some things in this movie that you wouldn't see in any other movie. But despite it having flaws, of which, there are many that I can't really defend against, I did find this to be a very charming trip down memory lane for me. Going back and checking out, what were we up to in the year 2001? What was a comic book movie like? I guess this was state of the art for comic book movies in 2001, pre-Marvel, because this was based on a comic that was handed to Henry Selick. But anywho, enough for me. What did you think about Monkeybone?
To start off talking about the comic, I watched a YouTube video about the comic, and it's odd that something would be based on it, kind of.
What was it? Is it called Downtown or Darktown, or what's it called?
Yeah, I think it's Darktown.
Darktown, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's like French or something, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe
not an easy comic to get your hands on these days. It was a pretty low print run, and I tried to find like a copy online. I couldn't find one.
Yeah, I didn't look, but yeah, I imagine it's probably pretty hard to find. It was just like, the one issue, and got canceled pretty quick. So, it was just one issue, so they didn't, it's basically like the first 10 minutes of the movie or something, like before he gets to like the weird dream place, like he's killed, and then he goes underground, and that's about it. Like a knight shows up to attack him, and so it's like before anything happens, like there's not even like a Monkeybone character. Like, it seems to be played a little bit more straight, even though it's like weird and surreal.
That's interesting then that Selick was so passionate about making this, because I guess like he was handed this comic book by like an assistant or something, and he fell in love with it to the point that he like aggressively pursued the rights to this and wrote all these glowing letters to the author saying how much he loved it. But you're saying there's not that much there.
Yeah, there's not much to the story. I mean, the art is really cool, but nothing of what the art looks like in the comic is in this movie, really.
Well, it looks like you can get a copy of it for anywhere between $100 and $350 on eBay currently.
All right. Well, shout out to the YouTube guy who made a video about it like 15 years ago, who had a copy. That guy's probably rich now. But it's like very, very different, and also not a lot to the story. So it's interesting that it became this movie. And that, Selick and the writer Sam Hamm had to take so many kind of liberties to make it an actual story. Yeah, this was written by Sam Hamm, by the way, who wrote Beetlejuice, or not Beetlejuice, Tim Burton's Batman.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of odd, but yeah, I'd never seen this. I remember wanting to see it as a kid because, as an 18-year-old or however I was 19, 20, because, I liked Brendan Fraser at the time, Encino Man, obviously a favorite, and Rose McGowan was in it, who I liked a lot because of the Greg Araki movies and Scream, even though I feel like she was like played up a lot in the commercials. And she's in the movie for about 5 minutes. But, I mean, as we talked about, you can kind of say that about everybody in the movie.
But at least she wears 5 different outfits with her boobs hanging out.
Yeah, I do like that.
Actually, I wonder if this movie is the origin for like the kitty cat cosplay fetish that you see in probably 1/3 of all porno videos uploaded in the year 2026.
I mean, yeah, this must have played a part in that. Like the fact that so many young people are furries now. It's like this, that sexy rabbit from Space Jam.
I always hear like the Robin Hood Disney cartoon as being like an origin point, but I feel like there's got to be different origins for each generation, and this certainly must have been a big hallmark for the sexual development of weird furry people.
Yeah, I imagine so. Because, like Rose McGowan's sexy cat character is also like a little gothy. Like, she's wearing like an Egyptian ankh like around her neck. It's like, there's got to be something. Because I feel like there's a lot of overlap in the Venn diagram between furries and goth people, but
Shelby loves it.
Shelby, of course, is a furry.
Big fan.
Immediately this movie's really fun. Like, it really, like, I don't know if they had to cut stuff out of the beginning or what, because it's like the credits. It's like, hey, check it out, you're watching Monkeybone. Brendan Fraser's dead. He's in hell. Like, or I mean, you know, more. I mean, it's like Dream World. He's in a coma, but same fucking difference. Like, but like, yeah, like they're just like on it. Like, you don't get any character development with him. You don't get anything between him and his girlfriend, which is a real shame because the whole story is predicated on the fact that you as a viewer want him to come back to get back together with his girlfriend, who he has like no scenes with in the entire movie. Which is weird. It jumps you right in. The beginning, like the car wreck thing is fun. And you get a little of Dave Foley at the beginning, and that's fun. And then when you're in the afterlife or the dream world or whatever it is, like they kind of blur the lines of what it's supposed to be. Because it's like, they say it's a dream world, and everybody's down there like watching nightmares and like stuff like that. But then there's also like Grim Reapers everywhere. I don't know, like it's a little messy. Not that like hindered my enjoyment of it or anything, but it, you know, it is an example of just one of many things in this movie that's like messy. It doesn't gel. But everything in there looks fucking fantastic. Like, I was just like they should have like dwelled on everything in there more. Like, just like let the camera linger on all these cool ass effects.
Sounds to me like there's somebody on the other side of this phone call who's jealous of my purchase. I'm guessing that you didn't expend the extra $1 to be able to rewatch these scenes over and over again.
I did not, no. Sadly. I blew it.
Maybe you blew it, yeah.
But yeah, everything down there is like super cool. I kind of wish that like maybe there was like a B story or something that took place like solely in that little town. That way we could keep going back to it. And I mean, I guess we go back to it from time to time, but yeah, like that stuff's all like very much the highlight of the movie. Monkeybone himself is fine. He looks really good. He's like not really funny, like you said. Like nothing in this is like really funny. Like the situations are funny, I guess, but like there's no like funny jokes. For the most part, there's like some inventive stuff. Like it's, you know, you mentioned like how much money must have gone into this movie, and I feel like that's true. But I feel like, I feel like some executive was just like, all right, Beetlejuice did well and The Mask did well. How can we combine those things into a movie? And then this director was just like, I got it. I got the perfect thing, because it really feels like a Venn diagram of a couple of things that were very popular in the previous years. Not to its detriment. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's totally fine.
Well, and also, I'm sure the executives were like, "Oh yeah, Henry Selick, you mind making it look a little bit like Nightmare Before Christmas, because that made us a bunch of money." He was probably like, "Okay, yeah, you know, that's my style. Don't worry about it. I'll do that."
Yeah, that too. And then I had no idea where this movie was going. I didn't even realize Monkeybone was a metaphor for a penis until I started watching it.
Until the very first scene.
Yeah, until 10 seconds into the movie, when that's very obvious. But yeah, I didn't realize that Monkeybone was going to come back to the human world. And that stuff's like fine. The scene where Brendan Fraser's like dancing around the bedroom when they're about to have sex and like climbing on things is like kind of fun. One thing
did you like the scene where he eats the chocolate cake with his hands?
Yeah, I like that. I like that stuff.
He really got in there. You know, he was really devouring that cake. I was impressed, again, with the commitment from Fraser.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy who, you know, he went fully into being a caveman for Encino Man. So yeah, he dives right into roles. And he gained 800 pounds for The Whale.
Yeah, probably via that yellow cake.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the stuff once he's Monkeybone is not that great. Like that's when he really could have like benefited. Like this movie could have benefited from like a Ben Stiller or like Jim Carrey, or I don't know. I mean, there's probably like 15 other guys who could have done like this big silly over the top stuff better. But
I'll throw this at you, Chris Kattan. Who played basically a monkey on SNL, right? Mango or whatever. Was it Mango?
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a little monkey man? What was the idea with Mango? He was a monkey man, right?
I think he was like half man, half monkey or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't get Mango to play Monkeybone? Okay, all right. You do you, Selick.
I mean, it definitely could have. Yeah, I'm sure there are a bunch of other people. Like Mike Myers probably could have done this pretty well.
Pretty much any sketch performer, they just could have went to Groundlings or SNL or any of these sketch places. Were the whitest kids going yet? I don't know, but anybody who had experience doing comedic characters, I think probably would have been a step up. But again, I like Brendan Fraser, and I feel bad that I'm saying negative things about him because I like the man.
Yeah, but he's just a little miscast. But I mean, I get that. I mean, it is hard that you have to get like a guy who can be the kind of like corny straight man and then also be the sex monkey. Like, it is hard casting, and then also be a big enough star to lead a fucking $50 million movie or however much this costs. So I do get that it's difficult casting.
Ben Stiller would have been the best choice, though.
I think so. Yeah. Or, I mean, I think Dana Carvey could have done it probably, but I don't know if his career was over yet or not, if Master of Disguises had already come out and ruined his life. But either way, so then Chris Kattan shows up, and he's fantastic in this. Like, when he runs around with a broken neck, it is, like, the physicality of that is so funny. And he does a really great, and then just that scene where he like wakes up and he starts like throwing that like bone saw around at Bob Odenkirk, and like that stuff's all really good.
It's almost like the laughs from Chris Kattan's scenes were so loud they reached the heavens, and God looked down and said, "Oh, you're gonna make fun of neck breaking? Okay."
I mean, kinda, yeah. One thing with that character though, and I think that this is kind of a big flaw of the movie, but sort of also just exemplary of everything that's bad about this movie or wrong with it. Not even bad necessarily, but like, he's not set up at all. So he shows up in the third act, and he's now the movie's hero essentially because Brendan Fraser's soul is in this body. And so like the last 20, 25 minutes of this movie is Brendan Fraser inside of Chris Kattan fighting evil Brendan Fraser, who is the monkey. And so there's like a real disconnect of like who we're supposed to be rooting for, because it feels like we're supposed to be rooting for Brendan Fraser, but he's evil Monkeybone. And we also don't have any connection to Chris Kattan, even though he is the hero. So, and I mean, I get that this movie, it's primarily just like a creature effects silly thing. So maybe, but like still, I mean, it has to work on like, the normal level that a movie needs to work on. And I feel like it falls apart with this thing. Like maybe if they had set Chris Kattan up at the beginning, or if like his character was like Dave Foley's character or something like tied into the story, but everything at the end just kind of feels wonky and disconnected, I think, because of what's happening here. Also, it doesn't make sense that Monkeybone's big plan is to marry Bridget Fonda, because he's a sex monkey. He should want to leave her to go have sex with everybody he can. Like, it's kind of a weird plot for a horny monkey to want to get married. But
was that even the plot? I don't even remember that really being his. I thought he didn't want to marry Bridget Fonda.
I thought he did. Wasn't I thought that was like the ticking clock, is that Chris Kattan has to get to the party that they're at.
The ticking clock is that his sister for some reason wants to kill him by pulling the plug.
Oh, yeah. There's also that part, yeah.
Which I think that's never. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's never set up why Megan Mullally feels that way, other than like they said that they had a conversation about this at some point or whatever. But
I feel like there's probably 20 minutes cut out of the beginning of this.
Yeah,
but like,
where like there's some jealousy about his success or something, maybe, or who knows why. But it does feel like she probably had a bigger role as well.
Yeah, because like the whole beginning of the movie is that he signed a deal to make the Monkeybone cartoon. So I feel like she probably just wants his money, but none of that is ever said or set up, or they don't do anything with it. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel, yeah, they either cut everything out of this or they just forgot to write the parts that make it an actual narrative. And I feel like the movie suffers because like everything's fun and weird and silly and goofy, but you also like kind of like need a reason to care about why, like the middle parts.
Yeah,
but
it may be one of those things though that plays better on a second pass where you've kind of already got the general shape of it. You know what its deficiencies are going to be, and you can just focus on checking out the cool farting monkey dolls and stuff like that. You must have liked that farting monkey doll.
Yeah, I think that's probably definitely true. So I think that this is fun. And it's very inventive. It's very crazy. There's a lot of silly stuff. I like the Grim Reapers that like when you rip off their sheets, they disappear. Like they float away. I think that's fun.
You like that they lampooned Stephen King in this?
I do like that, of course. I like this mostly. It's frustrating because it seems like the kind of thing I should love. Like I feel like I would, if this was better, if this movie was like 20% better, I would feel very happy like doing weekend double features where I watch like Freaked and then this, or like Basket Case and then this, or something like that. But like, like a Basket Case sequel, maybe not that first rapey one, but like, well, I guess maybe the rapey one. Monkeybone's a rapist, but like, like if I like this a little bit more, I would absolutely love this. But it's like frustrating that that like almost none of this movie comes together in a satisfying way, I guess.
At the same time, don't you feel like this was kind of a must-watch for Bowman?
Absolutely, I do, yeah.
It appeals to so many like corners of your sensibilities. I feel like there's kind of a Sifl and Ollie vibe in this even, you know?
Yeah. There's like, silly like meta humor. There's one, like the movie kind of ends with the punchline of like Brendan Fraser goes back to normal and like Whoopi Goldberg as Death shows up and she's just like, oh, good work. You're going to be able to live again. And now I'm going to go after the South Park guys. Like the whole movie's like a set up for a South Park joke, which is really funny. But this is definitely, it's very similar to a lot of stuff I like. And I'm glad I finally got to see it.
Nice. Well, and I'm sure that of all the references they could have made, they're glad that they did choose South Park, a reference that still makes sense today. Like they very easily could have picked C-Lab 2021 or whatever, and then people would be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, that would have been funny. That would have been good.
Let me ask you this though, Bowman: can you properly identify what is the funniest scene in Monkeybone from 2001?
I would say the scene where Chris Kattan is throwing the bone saw at Bob Odenkirk.
That's a good scene, but does it really beat the scene where a dog has a nightmare and he's getting neutered by cats?
Oh, yeah, that's really good too.
I really love that scene. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, that's fun.
Also wanted to shout out the USC Rose Garden that features prominently in the film's climax. Love seeing it on screen, even if it doesn't make sense geographically that they would intercut footage from MacArthur Park, but still cool to see it. And shout out to the t-shirt that Brendan Fraser's wearing during his big musical number. Did you catch that? You see what shirt he's wearing when he's singing for that, the corporate presentation or whatever that is?
What's he wearing?
A Meltdown Comics t-shirt.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is really, R.I.P., one of the great LA comic book stores in history and origin of Squat Melt. So, yeah, cool to see that. I guess reportedly there is a lot of cut footage that still exists, I think. And maybe someday we might get a director's cut of this. I know that Henry Selick has mentioned on occasion that he would be interested in doing that because he was not really satisfied with the end result of this. That I think largely was due to studio intervention and they rushed his post production and all that kind of stuff. So if that's true and that footage still exists, I would love to see it, because I do think that there are the bones of a great movie here. I agree with you that, at the end of it, it does come up a bit short, mostly because, it's maybe missing a script pass to put in jokes, but also just kind of confusingly ramshackle in terms of its plot. But still, I don't know. I was really glad that we went back to Monkeybone, and I had a good time revisiting this. So that's Monkeybone. It's out there. You can stream it for a few bucks or buy it for $1 more. But let me ask you, Bowman, what will we be watching on Junk Food Supper in a couple of weeks? Because next week's going to be a dinner. We got Kevin. Yeah. But a couple of weeks from now, it's Bowman's time to shine.
That is true. Well, I got three choices for you.
Okay.
Now, as you may know, still technically summertime.
Yeah, technically, sure.
Technically summer. Hot, it's muggy, it's unpleasant. I think you know what that means, Sean.
Technical summer is the best kind of summer.
That's absolutely true. So you got three choices that I'll tell you, the names of these movies. Two of them are Ghoul summer movies. Now it's going to be up to you if you want to do one of the Ghoul summer movies or if you want to do this other movie that's not a Ghoul summer movie, which is also a fine choice.
It's a Ghoul winter movie.
It's like more like a Ghoul fall kind of a movie.
Oh, okay. It's the fall part too.
Exactly. But these two Ghoul summer movies are probably normal movies, and I suspect you might want to do one of them. So, but we'll see. It's up to you. All of these are fine choices. First, in keeping with Cannonball Run and doing the real end of the trilogy, we got Deliverance here from 1972, starring Burt Reynolds, John Voight, Ned Beatty, Ronnie Cox. You know about this movie.
Oh yeah,
guys, go.
I watched this like a couple years ago.
So you're sick of it already?
I might be sick of it, but okay.
All right, well, that's a choice. You might be sick of this movie if you've ever seen it before in your whole life, or even heard about it. It's called Cannibal Ferox from 1981. Three friends out to disprove cannibalism meet two men on the run who tortured and enslaved a cannibal tribe. This is directed by Umberto Lenzi, who also did Nightmare City, a movie we talked about one time.
Yeah.
And then this last movie, not a Ghoul summer movie whatsoever that I know of. I've never seen it, but it seems fun, and it's been on my to-do list for a million years. It's called Barbarian Queen from 1985. Stars Lana Clarkson and Kat Shea. Set during the days of the Roman Empire, a simple village is raided by Roman troops, and most of the people are whisked off to be slaves or killed. 3 women survive and set off to liberate their people.
I mean, that sounds kind of boring, if we're being honest. Barbarian Queen sounds sort of like a Braveheart, but with less Scotland.
I think it's like, don't let the Roman Empire thing fool you. I think it's much less Braveheart and much more like sword and sandals, Conan the Barbarian type stuff, Deathstalker type stuff.
Well, joke's on you. I only watch movies with closed-toed shoes.
All right, okay. And so, you got to wear closed-toed shoes if you're going to
the jungle. To the
jungle, of course.
I've seen Cannibal Ferox, but it's been a few years. It's been longer than since I've seen Deliverance. And yeah, I'm in the mood to rewatch it.
All right. Very good. Very good. It's currently available pretty much everywhere. It's on Canopy. It's on AMC Plus. It's on Night Flight. It's on Plex. It's on Tubi. It's on Shudder. And you can rent it. So it's everywhere. Literally everywhere.
Awesome. Okay. Hopefully it's the full uncut version with all of the nasty bits that we would want to see.
I think so. I would think so. Yeah. I don't know if anybody who's doing censorship to these kind of movies, but only time will tell.
All right. Well, that'll be coming out from the Junk Food Supper podcast in a couple weeks. But next week will be Junk Food Dinner. Kevin's back. Kevin's bringing to the table a little film called The Outfit from 1973. Your friend Parker Bowman's bringing Train to Busan from 2016. And I'm bringing The Lost World from 1925. Because I thought it would be smart if our movies had a 90-year release gap between them. So we'll be doing a silent classic, The Lost World. So look forward to that. It should be exciting. In between now and then, you can do all of the things that we mention at the end of every episode. Please leave us a voicemail at 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865. Please do it, because otherwise you're just making me look a fool over here begging you to call. You could also send us an email at jfdpodcast@gmail.com. You could go to junkfooddinner.com. That's just kind of a general purpose, resource for all things junk food dinner and supper. Go to youtube.com/junkfooddinner. Some new videos coming soon that I promise you're going to love. Also, go to patreon.com/junkfooddinner. You can kick us a few bones for all of this podcasting that we're doing. And there's a bunch of bonus episodes from past years only available there exclusively on Patreon. So check those out if you've never checked them out. And some new content coming there soon, hopefully. But until next time, I think that's all we got. This is your friend, Sen Byro, for your other friend, Perky Beantown Bowman, saying keep washing them dishes.
Coming up next, Bridget Fonda can't figure out what's up with boyfriend Brendan Fraser in Monkeybone.
Ow! What unit? The sidekick unit! Me, Tonto, Robin the Boy Wonder, Chewbacca!
Brendan Fraser is a cartoonist who has to literally confront his nightmares when he's plunged into a coma in Monkeybone, an ambitious mix of live action, stop motion, and computer graphic animation. The bad news is that it's dreadful in all three formats. Fraser plays Stu, a molten, psychologically fragile comic strip artist who is tormented by his alter ego, Monkeybone, who's an unfunny and annoying little pest. Stu needs a golden exit path to escape the hellish world of his coma, but Monkeybone beats him to the punch. So now we've got Monkeybone's obnoxious personality in Stu's body, while the real Stu tries to win a reprieve from death, played by Whoopi Goldberg.
Why does everybody make it so hard for me? You're switching bodies. You're stealing exit passes. I work a long enough day as it is.
You can take my job. I don't need it. You can turn me into paper dolls. Just give me 1 hour.
And just when I thought Monkeybone couldn't possibly get worse, the inexplicable Chris Kattan pops up as a dead gymnast whose body is occupied by the real Stu, just as some corrupt doctors are harvesting his organs for the black market.
What's wrong with my neck? You broke it. You're an organ donor.
I'm sorry you had to see that, but don't blame me. Blame the makers of Monkeybone for creating a depressingly grotesque and hopelessly juvenile comedy that contains not a single laugh despite the presence of the charming Fraser and the talented Bridget Fonda. This is a shockingly bad effort with crude sets and flat animation and desperate performances from supporting characters Kattan, Dave Foley, and Rose McGowan. Even with the likes of Double Take and Saving Silverman in the rearview mirror, Monkeybone is hands down the worst comedy I've seen this year. Halfway through this thing, I was actually rooting for the projector to break.
It's pretty bad, all right, although I did think that when Chris Kattan was flying over the city and his organs, his liver and kidneys, were falling out of his body and onto the barbecue grill, I don't know, there's just something twisted enough in my mind that I kind of smiled at those moments, but I agree
Maybe
with
it's because you had been punched into submission by an hour of unfunny stuff.
So the movie is a complete dead zone. It was directed by Henry Selick, who is really good at these kinds of movies. He made The Nightmare Before Christmas and James and the Giant Peach. Here, kinds of movies. In other words, a combination of various kinds of live action, stop motion special effects, and other kinds of animation effects. And he can do it, but this time they're just nothing
Monkeybone's a rapist.
there. Just nothing there. And even nothing, but even on a technical level, didn't you think it looked really cheesy and cruddy? The, Coma Land or whatever they call it, these characters walking around with like, it was like stuff from the Banana Split show like 30 years ago. Oh, I've got a big head and a Cyclops eye. It doesn't blink because we didn't have enough money to It's just embarrassing. Those scenes were kind of underlit, I think, to conceal the fact that they were so shabby, and the whole movie is pretty shabby. It should have been much more underlit the rest of it. Yeah. Okay, our next movie is another brilliant film by Patrice Leconte, who is one of my favorite directors.
Get Dorf now. 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 Now.